Very good morning. Everyone is very happy and doing good with your work. With this positive hope and positive note, we'll go to the today's video. In the last videos, we have seen in detail about the functions, how the function can be defined, and what are the types of parameters, and how those parameters can be passed, and everything we have seen in detail in the last videos. And in today's video, we are going to see a different way how the function can be defined. Yeah, that is what we call as an anonymous functions in Python. Yeah, what is this anonymous function? So, in the videos which we have seen already, for defining a function, we normally use a def keyword and name of the function and the number of arguments that function can hold, and the definition will be defined. The set of instructions will be defined with the name of the function. So, it is a traditional way of defining a function in Python. What do you mean by this anonymous function? This anonymous function means without defining a function, we can use function. Without using a def keyword, possibly we can do that, and that is what we call as an anonymous function, and we will see how those anonymous functions can be used and what are the other simple functions that can be used as a part of anonymous function. First, this lambda. So, we call this as an anonymous function or lambda function or anything because we use this lambda keyword. Okay, it is what we can say as a lambda function is it is a one line function, that is a function can be defined in one line, not more than that. And second, this def keyword is not necessary. Without a def keyword, it is possible for us to define a function. That is what we call as a lambda function. The syntax for the lambda function is lambda should be mentioned, a space and arguments, a colon and expression should be followed. Let us go with an example. We will have a simple example, then we will proceed. Yes. Okay, we will start with the idle. We will start a new file. Okay. So, normally, what we do is we define a function. So, let us take an example to find the maximum of two numbers. So, to identify, the name of the function is max and the number of arguments it can hold is 2. So, then I have defined the function and I am going to check for the condition if x is greater than y, and what should it do? It should say print x, I mean print the biggest number is, I mean quotation close, comma x. Okay, then else what we can do, we have to print same, print the biggest number is, quotation close, and y. So, this is how we define a function, and the function can be called the max of, and here that is we pass the argument, right. So, this is how we define a simple function. Here let us run this to identify whether this code works or not. It has to be saved first. Okay, let us save as sample. Okay, the biggest number is 15, the code is working. So, this is how we define a simple function to identify the biggest of two numbers. Alright, so the same can be performed with an anonymous function as a part of a lambda function. So, now in the here, as I have told you already, it is a one line function, means the same function can be defined in one line. So, let us see how it can be done. Okay, yeah. See, we do not need this code now. Yes. So, what I can do is lambda function this x comma y and the colon and the expression x if x greater than y, else y. Yeah, now we have defined this lambda function. Okay, so as we said, the one line function, this is more than enough. So, now this lambda has to be assigned to a variable max, let us say max, and I am going to print this variable, print the max of the numbers should be important, 23. Fine. So that's all. So now let's save this and run the code. Let's see the output. Yeah, look here. Yeah. So this is how the lambda function works normally. All right. So that's all about this lambda function. The syntax, we should be very clear with the syntax. It is lambda, arguments, expression, the colon and expression. This is must. So this is how we can define a function without define keyword, and no, a traditional way of definition is not necessary, and that is why we could use the lambda keyword. Lambda is a keyword, or otherwise we can call this as a lambda function. Fine. Next we will see about the map function. What is this map function will do? Map is a function. What function we are defining, that function can be applied to all the elements in a list for a sequence, for any sequence of data. If we have the different elements in a sequence, that is sequence, what I mean here is a list. Okay, each and every element of a list, the function can be applied. So what is that syntax? The syntax for this map function is this function can be passed as an argument to another function. The function can be passed as an argument, as the functions are the first class citizens of Python, means everything is considered as a keyword, the objects in Python. So everything can be assigned. A function can be assigned, a function can be passed, a function can be returned. So this is very flexible in Python. So one such case, the function can be passed as an argument for this map function, and the other argument is list. So these two things are very important. So what is this map function will do? Let's see with a hands-on. So let's delete this code and we'll have the fresh code. We'll define a new list. Okay, a new list of items 1, 2, 3, 4, say. This is enough for us. Okay, so what I'm going to do? So I'm going to print a list of variables. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm going to map something. Okay, so what is that map I'm going to do? So as I've already told you, this map should have two arguments. The first argument should be function and second argument should be a list. So I'm going to define a function. So what I'm going to do? So what function I'm going to apply here? Means I want to make the square of each element in a list. I want to make the square of each element in a list. So that is the function I am going to define here. So probably the one-line function we will go for the lambda. Okay, the argument is x and colon. What is the expression? I am going to make the square of the every elements. So I have defined my function. The first argument of the map function is ready, and second argument of the map function is the list. The name of the list that has to be passed. Okay, lambda function is closed, map function is ready, and my list is ready. I'm done with this. Okay, let's save this code and I'm going to run. The name, sorry, some error, the spelling mistake, the print print, right, nt, fine, it's a simple mistake. Okay, so the list of items which I have here is 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, I have made the square. So that is the function which I have defined here, and that function can be applied to all the elements in a list. So this is what the map function works. This is how we can use the map function. All right, yeah, that's all about the map function. So make it very clear. The syntax for the map function is very important. The syntax is it can handle two variables, the two arguments. The first argument is function and second argument is list. And next we will see the filter. So what does this filter do? Yeah, the filter means normally we know among the list of items we need to display only a certain elements should be displayed, not all. That is what we call as a filtering process. I am going to filter, say like I am having a list of items, 10 items. Out of those 10, I need only 2 items. I am going to filter out the remaining 8 items. So here I have to apply some condition. I am going to filter out some list of items from the list. That is, for that we are going to apply a function, and that function name is what we call as a function. A function name is the filter. So let's see with the hands on how this filter works. Yeah, with the same elements, with the same list defined, which you have used already for map. So we'll go with the same function. So instead of this map function, I'm going to change. use the keyword the filter. So what condition I'm going to do? I'm not going to apply. I'm not going to modify anything in the list. So I'm going to filter out. Say here I have only the list of 4 items. So not necessarily it should be 4. I can have 5, 6, and 7 or anything. Okay. So what is that condition? Yeah. So the condition is, say for example, I want to display the numbers which are greater than 5. Okay. So for that condition, what I can do is greater than 5. So this is a simple condition which I can do. This is more than enough for me. Yeah. So let's see. This is a simple modification which I've did. So let's see the output. So save and run the function. Say, look here. So this is the output. I have filtered the rest of the items in the list. So I want only the numbers which are greater than 5. Yeah, this is the condition, the filter condition which I have applied, and that has been applied to the list, and my output is so. Yeah, so that is what we have said. This filter items out of a sequence. So filter the items which I don't need, but it is there in the list. Without modifying the list, only the items which satisfy the condition will be printed out. So normally this return filtered the list. It returns the filtered list. It returns the list that is filtered one. Okay. That's all about the different the anonymous functions which we have seen in this video. So I suggest you people to have the different examples, apply them with this map, filter, and the lambda functions. So it's another flexibility in the Python programming. Thank you. We'll see you in the next video. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you once again. See you.